Hey everyone, it's Dylesia. I am in my car, so obviously I'm gonna probably post this a little bit later, but right now I'm outside of church waiting to go into what some of you guys know as noonday prayer, but is actually just referred to as Bible study now. That's like an old back in the day noonday prayer is an old back in the day term. But nonetheless, so this is one of the luxuries of being a full-time entrepreneur, being able to determine what your schedule is, when you see people, when you're able to do certain things. So I'm very excited that now I can be a part of Bible study and come each week at 12 o'clock. Obviously, my church has later times as well, but 12 o'clock, I like that. I like it. It gets your day kind of going right in the middle of the day. So I want to talk today to people who are transitioning. I know that transitioning is a very hard thing, and earlier this month, God spoke to me that this would be the month of transition. I had no idea at the beginning of the month what that specifically meant, and I think at different times during the month, it's meant different things to me. So He gave me the month of transition in addition to don't panic, I'm coming. And, like I said, throughout the month, that message meant something different to me. But I never thought it would mean I was going to quit my job. I was going to go full-time private practice. I had no idea. So, although it's a transition that's very good, I am keenly aware of transitions that are not as good. Someone may have died and left you behind with kind of figuring out what the arrangements are, picking up the pieces of your life after that. Maybe you're in a time of divorce, or maybe there's a job loss that you were not in charge of. But either way, I think that at all times, all of us are either headed towards a transition, going through one, or just coming out of one. And life is really all about being able to adjust, because life is one big transition. One moment something's happening, the next moment is something else, and it's just the time in between, and dealing with how to shift your perspective, shift your attitude, shift your behavior in order to align with the new season that you're in. So I specifically just want to give encouragement to people who do find themselves in some sort of transition, that things are going to be okay. Like, it's temporary. You don't have to be so afraid of what the future holds. I think a lot of times people stay in very comfortable situations that they don't like. And, even I'll go as far as even to say that they disdain, situations that are disheartening to them, whether that's jobs, relationships, living in a certain area of, the United States or wherever abroad, living in a certain place, staying in their hometown, having the same group of friends. A lot of times we keep comfort because it's familiar. And we think that although we hate it, the feeling of hatred is a lot easier to deal with than the feeling of uncertainty that comes with transitioning. But I just want to encourage you that God has something awesome in store for you. He has greater than you can ever imagine. It says in his word that, above all that we could ever ask or think, he has for us. So just believe that he has that exceedingly and abundantly for you, and put your name on the verse. Like, a lot of times we look at verses and we think, okay, God is generally talking to his people, but I'll stick my name right in there, Dylesia. God promises exceedingly and abundantly above all you can ever ask or think. So don't feel afraid to attach your name to the scripture, because the promises were written specifically for you. They might fit into everybody else, but you are wonderful in God's eyes. You're his beloved, and he's just that good that he can write one thing that fits everybody in the world, but it was specifically written for you. So just believe in all that he has for your future, and know that whether you're in a period of transition because you chose to be or because you were forced into it, that greater is coming. I always say God does not bless us backwards. So even if it looks like we're going into a season where things are going to be worse than they used to, there's always going to be that silver lining, and something's going to be better. So keep that in mind. God's not going to bless you backwards. Everything that's coming is greater than what's been. And stay blessed. All right, bye.